code mixing on students' participation?
Actually, before the pink one, I asked one of the teachers that she said that the demographic students is average to illiterate, so I assumed the teacher would use code mix.
Illiterate, eh?
Some,
Which school is this? I mean, you approached the teacher in the PPG school.
yeah. Actually, my mom is a school.
Ah,
My
where?
mom's a teacher. Taman Selassie, Kulim.
Oh, Kulim. Right.
But
Illiterate.
Some.
Some.
But then,
Okay. Because
so
of the
I
COVID-19.
don't know. But then I assumed the teacher would use code mix. And then I asked a few students from there, and then they said the teacher actually used fully English. So
Full English.
yeah, they average fluency. They have average fluency. So I think like it's wrong lah. My initial.
Yeah. It doesn't apply to them.
Yeah. But then I think it still can be used because like my research objective is to determine the best teaching. Because the students said that even when they use fully English, sometimes they still don't understand when the teachers get lengthy.
Okay. So can you just focus on which skill, just to assist you further? Which skill? Because participation, a proficiency, the best teaching strategies are so wide. And which skills are you talking about?
Is it that one like?
Huh?
I don't know that one.
You have to read up. What's the biggest issue in schools, perhaps? Okay, they have this average fluency, but proficiency, but teaching strategies. This I would say will get you can collect the data from the teachers themselves. You can make it wide, tak ada masalah, accommodating all the language skills. As long as you make sure that you get the research instrument that appropriately asks for all this. For example, teaching strategies in speaking, the best teaching strategies in reading, listening, writing, and teaching of grammar. So that's going to be quite a lot for you to handle. Focus. But then, which skill to focus on will depend heavily on what you found in the literature. If most of the articles and most of the studies focus on the best teaching practices in speaking, ambil speaking. Just focus on speaking.
I can focus on speaking now.
You can. So determine factors influencing.
I also found out that sometimes they have average fluency because external factors.
Yep. So you don't have to mention straight away average proficiency students. Can you just make it like general to determine factors influencing students' participation in an ESL speaking classroom? Okay.
What about my first one?
To determine the best teaching strategies in teaching ESL speaking, in developing ESL speaking skills.
And then I talk about this.
That one will have to be further expounded in the literature review. What are the teaching strategies? You list them down from the citations, from your literature. What are the best teaching strategies that other researchers have found? So nanti, in your research instrument to the teachers, this list has to be asked to the teachers. Do they practice? Do they speak fully in English? Do they code mix? Do they code switch? Do they trans language? Are these teaching strategies actually nak kena determine juga what are things labeled as teaching strategies and what are the theoretical framework behind this research? What is the theory behind this? What is the theory? So now, what's your name?
Jasmine.
Jasmine. It's not that tough, Jasmine. It's like this. When you read a literature, when you read an article, that article will supposedly present the relevant theories. Provided that the research, the article talks about somewhat similar to what you plan to do. Theories mesti sama. You can't run away so far. You see, you can plug that theories out, but make sure that the theory really relates to yours. Okay, so it's going to be a mixed method. Interview the teachers, questionnaires. Okay, ask the students. And the students, of course, will have to be. You can do this via survey lah. Via survey. If you have.
What about my title?
It doesn't work anymore. It's just like maybe you say best teaching strategies in developing or for the development of ESL speaking skills
That's not too wide.
in Kulim, in Kulim, in a Kulim suburban school, something like that. But some lecturers, they don't want to have that locality put in the title. It can be as general as that. Because there are pros and cons. There are pros and cons of how you design a title, of how you formulate a title. If you make it general, you can have more readers. If you fix it only to, let's say, one location, then people who are interested, but then they say, no lah, I'm in Nigeria, this it deters them from reading further, and you're going to lose readership.
My FYP is
This
plausible lah.
Plausible. Okay, this is a common topic, but interesting. And the gap is, what is the gap? Maybe those research done on this topic collected data strictly via survey questionnaire only, perhaps, so you can tweak around.
What about race?
Race? Yeah, you can. Among Malay race, among Chinese students, but then will have to be expounded further in chapter 3, where you talk about the samplings. Then it's going to be purposive. It's not going to be convenient sampling, because you have stated a criterion there, which is the subjects for this research will be from the Chinese community. So it's purposive.
What if I say like the reason that the students fully understand is because most of them are Indian?
Boleh lah, but
Is
then
it a research gap? Or like culture?
No, it's not. It's social linguistics. You don't talk about the demographics. You don't mention about the demographics variations in chapter 1 now. The variations to the demographics can be put in chapter 3. The findings to nanti, then you explore, then you present the fact that those students they are mostly Indians. And then maybe you have to make assumptions pula lagi. Or why? For example, external. It's not even an assumption lah, because they speak English at home. Because these are from your literature, you found that these are the factors. Boleh lah. But these elements have to be in the survey questionnaire so that you can extract the information to be further presented in the findings.
So how long is the questionnaire? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. But try not to make it too long. I memang super simple, 10 to 15.
Okay.
Survey questionnaire. Students, young people, this era, students hate reading. So do not put your research at risk by giving too many items. Okay. Okay, Jasmine? Okay.
Thank you, Doctor.
Welcome.